So I'm gonna read you something tonight. I'm gonna read you the history of the West Hollywood Hangout Restaurant and Sports Bar, an overall celebrity favorite, Barney's Beanery. Barney's Beanery has been a thing since like the 1920s, and it's over 100 years old today. Now here, love it or hate it, Barney's Beanery is a part of West Hollywood history. The famous eatery has been occupying the same spot on Route 66 even before West Hollywood officially became West Hollywood for nearly a century, but for much of that time was infamous for an offensive sign that hung behind the bar. If it seems like Barney's Beanery has been around forever, that's because it's almost 100 years old. The original location in Berkeley, California, was founded by John Barney Anthony in 1920 before moving to the current building on State Route 2, also known as Route 66, in 1927 after the first diner burned down. At the time, the area was unincorporated part of LA County, not under the jurisdiction of the LAPD. This led to the opening of speakeasies and other illegal businesses during the Roaring Twenties. After Prohibition was repealed, Anthony added a bar that made Barney's even more friendly to denizens of the burgeoning movie industry. Barney's location between the film studios to the east and Beverly Hills to the west made the restaurant slash bar a popular hangout for luminaries like Clara Bow, Rita Hayworth, and Clark Gable in the golden age of Hollywood. Times changed over the decades, and unlike other more glamorous establishments, Barney's managed to change along with them, and in the 1950s became a magnet for a more bohemian crowd that included Dennis Hopper, Marlon Brando, and Jack Nicholson. More changes were in store in the 1960s as the area now known as West Hollywood became a mecca for rock stars such as Janis Joplin, who is said to have enjoyed the last drink of her short life at Barney's before heading back to the motel where she met her end. Thanks to that damn heroin. Also, hard drinking regular Jim Morrison christened the bar by urinating on it, an act that was commemorated with a plaque. I still don't understand why he urinated on the bar. He got kicked out for doing that. As popular as the Funky Diner may have been with fans of hot chili and cold beer, there was one group that was not happy with the bar and its decor. Back in the day when gays were targeted by frequent raids from law enforcement, an owner posted a large bold sign saying, "Faggots stay out," over the bar. While the sign was intended to convince the authorities that no gentleman of the homosexual or persuasion would be found inside, Barney's did not take any special steps to keep them out. He literally have a picture of that exact sign. The sign may have been ignored for years, but over time, a thriving and active gay community grew up around Barney's Santa Monica Boulevard location. In the 1970s, activists, including Reverend Troy Perry and Morris Kite, staged protests to have the offending sign removed. Owners would periodically placate them by taking down the and only to sneak it back up later. The infamous sign finally came down for good after West Hollywood became a city in 1984. The new city's anti-discrimination law allowed the threat of a $500 a day fine until the sign was removed permanently after a period of holding out. Owner Irwin and Held finally gave in and allowed the city's first mayor, Valerie Tarragno, to rip down the sign. He also agreed to cease selling matchbooks with the same offensive slogan. Mayor Tarragno stated at the time that although the sign and matchbooks may have been considered a touch of nostalgic history, that was no reason for them to continue. For the people of West Hollywood, there has been nothing nostalgic about it. The worlds have been discriminately and have reduced a large part of other population to the status of second-class citizens. After that, Barney's Beanery pretty much stayed out of the news until 2016, when the restaurant was threatened by the wave of development that has swept over West Hollywood. A project application was submitted to the city for yet another mixed-use development with the usual mix of hotel rooms and music space that would incorporate Barney's, which would be dismantled and stored until it could be rebuilt into the new structure in 2018. A new plan was submitted that included fewer hotel rooms, apartments, and other restaurants. The updated structure would keep Barney's intact while erecting the new development around it. Since then, there has been no more news about the future of Barney's Beanery. Barney's now bills itself as a gastropub and is part of a small chain where customers can choose from breakfast, lunch, or dinner from morning until midnight and partake of more than 40 beers. Hopefully not all on the same visit. While the future of this long-standing roadhouse seems uncertain, it remains what former Mayor Lauren and Meister has called part of our history: the good, the bad, and the ugly. This place is such a classic. That's what the exterior looks like from the side. And that's from their West Hollywood location. At this point, it said that they have 3 locations of Barney's Beanery. There's the original West Hollywood, there's Burbank, and there's Pasadena. But I don't think any of them compare to the West Hollywood location, the original. That's where all that action from the old days happened. That's where Jim Morrison urinated it on the bar. That's where Janis Joplin had her last meal before she died. And so many others. And they've had all kinds of celebrities come there. People like Bogart and Cagney have been here. Charles Bukowski. And I imagine all kinds of other celebrities from the golden age have been. As I heard, Rita Hayworth, Clark Gable, well, those kinds of people have all been to Barney's Beanery. Aside from all that, they have a lot of good food. A lot of stuff that you expect from a sports bar or a gastropub. But the name says it all to their most popular: a nice bowl of chili. Their original recipe that still stands to this day. It's still the original recipe bowl of chili. It's nice and meaty, a little spicy. It's got a blend of spices and chilies that I'm pretty damn sure they won't tell anyone what's in it. They probably tell you, then they probably have to kill you. But yeah, Barney's Beanery is such a classic in LA. I still have yet to go there. If I could just go back to Los Angeles, my first night, this would be I stop up for food. And thank freaking God they got rid of that sign. So, instead of having that sign, they gave you a free bowl of chili if you bring in your license plate. I'm pretty sure that still happens to this day. Looks like they have all kinds of good food on the menu. Oh, I would get anything there as long as I can get a bowl of chili with it. Because you can't forget the chili. Alright. I think that covers Barney's history. Thank you for watching.